guest, Kara.
Okay.
Okay. I'm live now. This is Robert Conley. Good evening. This is Robert Conley on EI1. EI1, Elementary Investing 1. Glad you can show up tonight. And tonight I'm going to be talking about the new money, cryptocurrency, and how you can get involved at no cost and how you can join in on how things are changing, because the longer you resist, the worse off you are. If you don't resist and you just understand that things are changing and they're changing for the better and they're going to be changing even more, we're just at the very, very beginning of the change. This change, I thought that this change was going to happen beginning in 1992, and I told people I was working with that it was going to last about 15 years. Well, I was totally wrong. That was the preliminaries of what's going on right now, and what's going on right now is a major change where nearly everything that we know is changing. The only thing that's not going to change is love and religion. Everything that we know that has to do with science and materialistic goods are changing. And tonight I'm going to talk to you about how you can get involved in this change at no cost to you. Okay, again, no cost to you. You got to understand that as I'm talking about change, I'm talking about real change. I'm talking about demonetization. Okay, demonetization. What is demonetization? Demonetization is the reduction of cost of goods, all the way down to even free on some things. And what I'm going to be talking to you about tonight is free as well. Now, let me give you a prime example of demonetization, okay? In 1976, if I were to buy a calculator, it would have cost me around $40. If I were going to buy a very, very good Vivitar camera and lenses, that would have cost me somewhere around $1,200, $1,500. And if I would have bought a computer, that computer would have cost me about $10,000. Now you combined all of those together, and today I have all of those things in my telephone that cost me $1,100. So instead of spending thousands and thousands and thousands, the prices are going down on all of the items that we buy. And we're going to reach a point where so many of them are free. And tonight I'm going to introduce you to the product that is you know what? I'm going to introduce you to a product that's basically free, and I'm going to also introduce you to the lady that got me involved in this, Kara. And she's been involved in business all the way from medical, all the way into other different businesses for, I think it was about 25 years, been self-employed and doing things. And Kara will be answering some questions tonight so that you will be able to understand better what iHub is. iHub, IHUB. Okay, so I'm going to say hello, Kara. How are you doing?
Hi, Robert. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, I really appreciate that you have the time to be on. Um, Kara is on a telephone line. She will not be here in video, but she will be here on telephone call-in. So I'm going to ask some questions. Kara's going to give me her opinions and also answer the questions. And if you out there that are watching if you have any questions at all, type them on the screen. Hopefully they will show up so I can see them, and then either she or I will answer the questions for you. Okay, so I'm going to start this off by asking Kara, who is iHub, or what is iHub?
iHub is actually the marketing arm, or one of the marketing arms, for a company called Helium. And Helium's been around since 2013, and they actually are the first company that put together a peer-to-peer network for the Internet of Things network. So therefore, they've been putting this together, and iHub is in a marketing arm of Helium.
Okay, you said putting together a network for the Internet of Things. What is the Internet of Things?
Well, the Internet of Things is the long range instead of Wi-Fi. It's long range. So everything such as the trackers, scooters, sensors, things like that, they all need internet connection. And they actually are the Wi-Fi, your phone and that kind of thing, but the internet actually is utilized with these typical things. So as silly as it is, it's exactly what it sounds, the Internet of Things. So it puts together all the things they're able to talk in different locations and connect that way.
Okay, or I understand what you're saying. So if there were not an Internet of Things, the self-driving cars would not be able to function.
Correct, exactly. Scooters and your sensors at home, things like that.
Okay, all right. How long has iHub been working this project?
iHub started in August of 2020, so they've been around since August of 2020. And they've put together their affiliate network through that process and announced it and launched it in March of this past year. So they worked on it, but they didn't officially announce it until right around February or March. I believe it was February.
Okay.
Sorry, I apologize. I think it was February, not March.
Okay, all right. Okay, so building a network and that involves people. Are there any network building professionals on this team that's building this international network?
Absolutely. There is actually the iHub is created by three gentlemen who have been in the networking industry for a very, very long time. I don't know exactly how many years they would all add up to, but they one has actually owned a company in the networking industry, and then others have actually been more of team builders. So they came together and put this plan together to help people to take part in the Helium network.
The Helium network is a network that's the Internet of Things, and the Helium network has a Helium coin. What is this Helium coin?
It's a way to reward people for setting up the network. So, in other words, if you get one of these hubs, then or hotspots, they actually are a way of mining. I'm sure you've heard of cryptocurrency mining. And if you haven't, people will probably get really scared when they hear that because they hear, oh, lots of electricity, it costs a lot, it's really loud, etc. But in this case, this Helium coin takes this little hub, which is smaller than, it's probably right around the size of a CD maybe, and a little bit wider than that. And you just put it in your window or a higher elevation if possible. And actually, it will mine the coin, and that's what the coin Helium. It's the Helium Network Token, is what it's called, HNT.
Okay. Now I have some cryptocurrencies, and when they were going up, when Dogecoin was climbing, I was like I was like an addict. I couldn't stay off my phone looking to see how that stuff was moving. So I could not help it. But as I have bought some and I've been watching them, I made Helium one of the ones that's one of my favorites. And for the last few days, it's been hovering right around, I think, $13.50.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's right around correct. I think rated today it's like between 13.25 and 13.50. The hovering is exactly the best way to put it.
Okay. All right. How is this network that you're talking about being built?
Well, it's actually called the People's Network. So the People's Network is exactly what it says as well. I mean, I know I'm kind of being redundant when I say that, but it's being utilized by people. So people are putting these machines, miners, hubs, hotspots, whatever you want to call them, in their home, and they're being rewarded by the HNT. And so the network is called the People's Network, and they reward us instead of other businesses for helping to build it. So it's peer-to-peer.
Okay, so rewarding us and they're rewarding us with Helium coin. and the people are building this network. So how do you know if somebody is eligible to be a part of this network? Because as I would understand a network to be built, to build it the most solidly as you can build it, it has to have a probably a distance in between, or close to a certain amount of distance in between each of these hubs that you're talking about in order to make it a seamless, if you want to think about it, just think about it in your head, maybe something that looks like a piece of chicken wire spread out all over the globe. And every one of those little corners, there's a hub.
Exactly, exactly. And how it's being built and whether somebody would qualify is the location. And it's every 1,000 feet or 300 meters is pretty much what the helium team wants it to be.
Every 1,000 feet.
Yeah,
That's,
a lot of them, huh?
yeah, that's an enormous number all over the United States only, and this is going to be worldwide.
That's correct. It already is worldwide. You can actually connect to people in Europe, Australia, Canada, those type of England, those type of places, and they are projecting to put it into Asia and many other places. That's correct. So it is worldwide. It's just working on exactly where in the world it is, and of course, it's in the States.
So it's an address that qualifies, not a person.
Correct. That's correct. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, okay. I should have said it that way. In that way, it's a people network. But if you have 4 people in one place, it's going to be too many people.
Okay. All right. So if a person that has an address has one of these, uh, pods, then how do they get paid?
They get paid in helium tokens. So what happens is iHub will pay based on the number of helium tokens that were a percentage of that, based on the number of helium tokens that were mined in that month. Actually, it comes down to anywhere from, we're doing monthly, then they're doing biweekly, or bi-monthly, sorry. And then they've got it to the point where their goal is to pay and provide helium tokens to everybody daily based on their location and what it actually in mind. So, and they actually have introduced recently a card, which is like a debit card, where so people who don't understand cryptocurrency or don't want to get too complex into it and set up exchanges and a bunch of other things, it connects to the helium tokens, and you can just spend it just as if it was cash.
I like that. That's fantastic. So there's an automatic conversion there, so people don't have to worry about transferring the helium out of their wallet into an exchange and then converting it to cash. So it will automatically be converted to cash with one of these cards.
That's correct.
Oh my gosh, that you're giving me chills. That's fantastic. Because there's so many people that don't understand cryptocurrency, and trying to understand a wallet that they can't touch, it makes it even harder for them.
That's true. They do have to work with the Helium app, but it's very simple to do, and it's not anything compared to exchanging like you would a Bitcoin to a USDT and to a, I don't want to get too complex, but you wouldn't have to exchange it back from dollar to Bitcoin to dollar to Bitcoin. It's all done for you in that sense.
Oh, fantastic. So how often do the people get paid this helium?
Actually, monthly is currently what they were doing. Now iHub is paying out bi-monthly, and their goal is to get to daily. Oh, so they're expected to be able to pay out that daily starting in the next few months.
See, now that makes me feel good, because when I play Baccarat, I get paid daily. So
there you go. There you go.
Okay. So say I want to get some other people involved. What is the benefit of me getting other people involved so that they can get paid daily?
Well, what happens is not only are you helping the person that's on the end of the actual hub that's getting the hotspot, because they're getting a percentage, but then you're actually receiving overrides off of hubs that you set up, or I call them hubs, but hotspots that you help set up. So you help your team or your affiliates or whatever you choose to call them. And as you introduce it to others, they receive overrides. Or you receive overrides off of them, and they have the opportunity to do the same thing.
Do you know what percentage of an override I would receive off of someone else's hotspot if I were to get someone else in?
Well, it goes as high up to 35%. So it's anywhere from 10 to 35%.
Okay. All right. So what would I receive off of my own hotspot hub?
Well, they have a plan where you would receive, you start off and within the first 90 days, they're free. So therefore they're giving you only 10% in the beginning to make sure you get used to it. And you want to, they plug it in and everything, because some people are not always going to follow through. So they want to make sure that happens. And then in that 90 days, they're giving you time to also refer or use their software that actually is a location tracker and helps not a tracker, but a location spot planner is probably a better way of putting it. And it helps you get to the right locations that are going to be the ultimate mining. And once you get to 5 of those, you are brought up to 25% on your own hotspot.
Okay, so me 25% on my own hotspot, and let's say just 10% on the hotspots of other people that I bring in. That is a hypothetical that could be a realistic situation.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, but you actually can go all the way up to 35% off of people that you refer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I get 10 people and I'm up to 35%, I'm getting 350%.
That's correct. But to get to up to 35%, you have to be more than 10 people. So it's based on the numbers of people or hotspots that you have set up or helped set up.
Is 35% the highest level?
Yes, that's correct. It's after 25 people.
Okay.
But if you look at it this way, Robert, it's like you're helping people and you're handing out free hotspots. So it's not difficult to get to that number if they put a little bit of effort into it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, here's my motto.
Okay.
If it sounds like it's something too good to be true, it's probably something Robert Conley would do.
Well, good for you, because one of those times, one of those too good to be trues actually turned out to be that way. Going back to Bitcoin, when people were getting Bitcoin at 20 cents or whatever when they first had it, that turned out to be too good to be true in some ways, except for people who sold it. And then they're kind of sad. But as for too good to be true, it's like people were saying at that time, just like you said back to the years that you said it, that cryptocurrency was going to be something. And those people took advantage of that, and the too good to be true turned out to be true.
Right.
And this is very true as well. There's over 100,000 hotspots on the Helium Explorer map right now, and iHub has currently got quite a bit of affiliates and machines out as well. So it's true.
All right, fantastic. Is there an average number of Helium coin being mined per miner in the network?
Yeah, in the iHub network, actually, it's because of the way that they've got it set up, they do much better than the overall Helium network. So they are actually at an average of right around 100 per month. There are some changes and there are some things that will bring that down slightly, but they are working at an average right now of 100.
Okay, so an average of 100. Say that my hotspot, when I receive it, mines 100 coins in 1 month, and it's at $13 a coin. That's a total of $1,300 that was mined.
That's correct. But you are only receiving a percentage of that, but still you are receiving a nice little percentage of doing it. That's correct. And then if you think of all the people that you've referred, it adds up quite fast.
Yes, because if I have only 10 people in and their mines are doing 100 coins and it's $1,300 a month and I only get 10%, I've got $1,300.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so I mean, and all I did was have them listen to you and I talk and then help them to get signed up. And then when they get their hotspot, they plug it in, register it, and let it go. They don't have to do anything else. Is that right?
That's correct. It's 365, 24/7. So that is correct.
Okay, so when I first started talking here today, I was talking about demonetization. Okay, so demonetization here is that you can get involved at no cost, but you're going to get paid if you are involved.
That's correct.
So this is actually what they call, I don't even want to say it because it's going to confuse some people. Okay, so this is fantastic. You're buying for no money a McDonald's franchise and you're getting paid off of it because the traffic is flowing through it. That's the Internet of Things traffic.
That's correct. You will get paid for that as well. So you're not only getting paid for the network setup, but you're receiving the helium tokens for the data credits that will be going through there as well when companies, and there are companies already using it, but where more companies start to use the actual network. So as the network gets built, more companies are able to use it. It's just the data, and it's a plan. They have a plan, a 50-year plan. So it's a long-term passive income. So it's not just a fly-by-night in any way or form.
Okay, so now I'm going to back up here for a minute because a while ago when we were talking, I asked you and you said yes, that it's the address that qualifies, not the person.
Correct.
Okay, so if it's the address that qualifies and not the person, it would probably be beneficial for people to talk to small businesses.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, they're perfect for it actually because they already have a business mind and they're looking for new revenue for their business. And you can also plot's not the right word, but plan your hotspots through that more easily because you have access to those people probably more than you would have homes in your area where you'd have to do door knocking or something. Here you can just pick up the phone and they have the ability to utilize the free software that's provided in HiHub to help figure out exactly where the best place is to plan their hotspots. So it's perfect.
So I could go on the iHub page, my iHub page, and go to that assessment area, look up an address, and then call businesses within that area.
Exactly. And then once that business says, oh, yeah, I'd love to have a free hotspot, then you would just send out the free assessment and they would go through the process of signing a business affiliate that way. So they see what they're going to get and, well, not exactly, but they're approximate of what's going on in their area. And then they're able to actually go right through the process and they become an affiliate through using that particular software. It's actual exclusive software to iHub, so no one else has access to that type of software.
This is the perfect business for someone that is at home.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, for sure. And there's a lot of people at home these days.
Yes, that's why I said that, because when the shutdown started last year, I did a podcast and I told people I think there's going to be at least 30% of the people that don't go back to work, and it looks like that's about what's happening right now.
Yep, that's correct, and there might even be more in the near future due to other reasons. But yes, absolutely. Okay. And it's great for moms at home or anybody who wants to do this part-time. It's not really take a lot of effort, really. You're giving away free hotspots or you're planning and locating. The goal is getting the hotspot in the right place. And that will mine you the most helium tokens. So the optimal mining areas is what you're looking for. And the software helps that.
The optimal mining areas would be the areas where it's densely populated.
Yes and no, because the densely populated sometimes can be saturated. So you would look for those areas and the perfect address at first. But then when they get to the point where they're already taken care of, because you can only build the network once, then you're really probably better off in a more of a virgin area or of an area that has not hardly any around there, because you have control over where you put the hotspots and who you're referring. So you have control over how that's set up. So it actually works both ways. It's just a matter of understanding the network and using the software appropriately, which you would help everybody do, I'm assuming.
Okay, so if I wanted to place hotspots in other locations that I don't own or I'm not renting, but I do have other locations where I can plug them in at, can I have more than one hotspot myself?
No, unfortunately, not for free. They won't. They don't sell them right now, so therefore you're not able to do that. They recently changed that. It was something where people were setting them up in lots of different places, but they've got to the point where they kind of people were taking advantage of that a little. So they decided that it was one for address and one for account. Now that can be worked around in the way of maybe a friend or a family or something that if you have another address, you can put it in their name, the account, the affiliate account. So I mean, things can be worked out, and but at the same time, no, you can't just have like 10 of them yourself in your own name and your own account.
Okay. Was I sounding greedy?
No, not at all. That question, we get that question a lot because there's lots of places people who have, I'd say they own their landlord or something and they own different properties. Right. And they're like, oh, I want, so it's not greedy at all. It's just actually a very smart question. Unfortunately, they don't allow it any longer.
Okay, so here's what I was thinking, because there's a lot of people, I'm one of them, that don't like car payments. And I've been buying cars through auctions for a long time, so I couldn't have a car payment. This would be a way that people could really, hypothetically, if everything worked out right, they could eliminate their having to take money out of their pocket for a car payment, because they would be getting virtually free money through the hotspot and then just make their car payment with that money.
That's correct. They can do whatever they want with the money that they're receiving. Now, one thing to think of is that with crypto, and not to complicate things too much, but with crypto, it also goes up and down, right? So yes, this projection of this coin is expected to go quite high. I don't want to say the word quite high, but higher than it is. And within a year, it's expected to be at $100. And these are third-party projections, they're not mine. And anything's possible, so I wouldn't consider it 100% ready, 100 to be done. But I would hold on to your tokens if you can, or at least some of them, because that's the way where as they appreciate, you will want to have them. Kind of like the Bitcoin story I said earlier.
Yes.
Don't buy a pizza with it.
Right. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So I have only got one more question, and then if you wanted to add something in there on your own, you can. But my last question is, do you know how many people are currently in the iHub network?
Well, last I heard, it's over 100,000, and they've got a good 5,000 or more adding every day. So it's quite a substantial, large amount, and they're growing like leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. What's that? Is that even an expression anymore? Anyway, that's what they're growing exceptionally.
Okay. Well, that's from what I can see. With the number that you just said and when they started, and actually the people that I've gotten involved since I've gotten started, which I have 11 right now. This is like the fastest that I've ever seen a program grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I call it a no-brainer business. I've never seen a business opportunity like this, and I think you mentioned in the beginning, I've been in business for a while. So I've never seen anything like this for every person. I mean, granted, there's been things out there that, I won't get into, but that aren't for the everyday person. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of where it's just for everyone. This is actually a program for everyone. And it's a no-brainer because you really don't have anything to lose.
Yes. A person, to qualify their address, they need to be 21.
I believe it's 18. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think it's 18.
I think you're right, because other programs or other businesses I got involved in, it was 18. They just need to be of the adult age. That's it.
Yeah, I think so. That would make sense, but I don't know, and I don't want you to, don't hold me to that. But I think it's 18.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I have. Do you have anything else that you want to add to it?
Not really. I just think that it's a great opportunity that everybody should take advantage of, and definitely get with you and your link, and get signed up through either getting an assessment sent to them, which might be the way to do it, or whatever way you choose to do it. But I definitely would recommend everybody join because it's a great opportunity.
Okay. All right. Well, Kara, I appreciate you having time to talk to me and to the viewers today, because I know that they would have had questions and I would not have been able to give all of the information that you gave. And I'll get you back on here sometime and we'll talk again.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right.
And let me know if there's any questions that anybody has that you aren't able to answer. Just message me and I can answer you through that as well, since we have that communication ability.
Okay, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
So there you have it. It's like getting a free McDonald's franchise where you don't have to hire workers, you don't have to flip burgers, and you don't even, if you don't want to, you don't have to advertise. The money's going to move. The helium coin is going to be mined through your mind. And I'm going to show you something right now, because to understand this and understand how easy and how simple it is, I'm going to show you how I access the internet. Okay, because I don't have cable in this house that I'm renting. I don't have cable here. I haven't ordered cable, but I do have internet, and not just through my phone. I have internet through um, lost. Okay, here I'm back. This device that Kara was talking about, that I've been talking about, is similar to this. She says it's smaller than this. Okay, all I do with this from T-Mobile is I plug it in and it connects to 5G or something out there, and I've got internet here in my house without cable. Okay, and the same thing goes with the iHub um, um, hotspot. Is you just get it in the mail, plug it in, it connects out there to the 5G network or whatever is out there that has the internet, and it makes the internet stronger for the Internet of Things. And that's all you do. You get it, plug it in, register it, let it go, and it's working. And you're getting paid for it with helium coin that converts into cash with the debit card. So you just, everything's done for you. It's just so simple and easy. And like I said, if you want to eliminate your car payment, take the money from this and make your car payment. And like she said, if it goes to $100 a coin, if it goes to $100 a coin, I can, with the people that I have now, when they just plug this thing in, I can have $13,000 a month, hypothetically, if it goes to $100. And I'm doing nothing. Nothing. The reason why this works is because the Internet of Things, all of these things talk to each other, and they talk through the internet. The self-driving cars, the house alarms, where you got your doorbell, like the Vivint, where you got your doorbell that has a camera on it, that's on the Internet of Things. All of these things are on the scooters that people ride around town. That's the smart TVs, all of these things. And it's the Internet of Things. I'm going to tell you this right now because I've been telling people about this for about 3 years now. The Internet of Things is going to be a bigger internet than the internet itself that we use every day. It's going to be bigger, because when you think of all of the different devices that can work off of it, like, okay, so let me tell you this. I'm at work and I want the house to cool down before I get home, and I have a smart fan. I type in a code and the fan comes on and cools my room off before I get home. This house where I work at around the corner, when I go over there, I send a message to the owner. I'm here. Please open the door. No matter where she's at, she can type in a code on her phone and open the garage door for me. And then when I'm leaving, she does the same thing and closes the garage door for me. That's the Internet of Things. All of these things are going to be on the Internet of Things. And every day we hear of new devices. Siri, get me a glass of water. Well, she can't get me a glass of water, but she can turn on the faucet. That's the Internet of Things. You understanding what I'm saying? You want to preheat the oven. The oven's turned on. You want to start your car. Your car is started. You understand what I'm saying? So the Internet of Things, all of these things, here, let me give you another example. The head of a dime, I'm going to give you this example. The head of a dime will hold 100 Internet of Things devices. Okay, 100. That means that I can take one of them, sew it into the collar of my shirt, and now I'm connected to the Internet of Things. This shirt is. If I lay my shirt down, I'm out playing basketball. I'm not a young buck anymore. But if I was out playing basketball and I took my shirt off and I laid it down and somebody walked off with my shirt, I could actually track where that shirt is at. Okay, I can actually track where that shirt is at because it's got an Internet of Things device in it. Let me give you this scenario. Your husband buys you this really nice necklace, and it's got an Internet of Things device on it. And you take it off, and you're at home. And then everybody leaves. Kids go to school, you go to work, your husband goes to work. Somebody breaks into your house and gets that necklace. They don't know it's got an Internet of Things device on it. And then they leave your home, and they're heading towards the pawn shop. And this Internet of Things device is talking, and it alerts the police that somebody that wasn't supposed to be in that house now has an item that they are not supposed to have, and they're tracking them, and it looks like they're heading to this pawn shop. And they get there, and the officer grabs them at the door, and you get your necklace back. And you don't even really have to identify it because it's already registered to you and it's tracked from your house. If you have a car that is 3 years old or younger, that car is connected to the Internet of Things. And that car is sending information about you to the manufacturer or a third party. And what that car is doing is measuring your body weight. It is tracking the path of your car. It is registering how many times you go to this location and how many times you stayed there. And so if you're having an affair, I'm telling you, I'm warning you right now. If you're having an affair and you're driving your car to that location, you better hope your husband or wife don't know that they can find out that information, because that affair it's either going to explode or it's going to blossom, one of the two. It's not going to keep going at the level it was going at. But your car can record this information, and it's connected to the Internet of Things. You're waking up in the morning to your radio, it starts working. You get washed up, you get cleaned up, you eat, and you're about to walk out the door. And your umbrella goes, and you like turn it, and that's the signal your umbrella is giving you, because it's going to rain today, and take me with you. That's the Internet of Things. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Your GPS works off of the Internet of Things. Hey, this is Robert Conley. I'm going to post on my page. Okay, I'm going to post on my page my link so that you can get a hotspot cryptocurrency miner that mines the helium coin for free, so that you can get a free monthly payment. And pretty soon it's going to be daily money that you get. And you'll be able to take your Visa or MasterCard debit card to wherever you use it now and buy things with it. Free money. Everything's changing. And I've been telling you it's going to change. Everything is changing. If it has to do with money, it's changing. This is Robert Conley on EI1. Kara was my guest this evening, giving you information about iHub. Hope you have a good evening. Oh, wait, let me back up here. I doubled 2.5 times. No, wait. Let me back up. I doubled 3 times today. Double cash daily. I doubled 3 times today. Okay, I'm working on it, and I figured something else out, and I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and better. And I still expect that before September, I will reach my goal of $100,000. Okay, if you have not been keeping clues, you need to get them. I'm going to come on Saturday, I believe on Saturday, and give another clue. All right, so just pay attention. Tomorrow night, well, tomorrow morning, if you're from Franklin Heights, I'm going to be interviewing Bob LeBeau, Dick LeBeau's brother. And tomorrow night, I'm going to give a pregame show for Pittsburgh and Dallas at the Hall of Fame. And then I'll be back on Sunday as well. It's starting to get busy. It's football season, almost Steeler season. This is Robert Conley on EI1. I'm gone, y'all.